Gutsan, Putin has stated that treaty was made possible thanks to the support of most countries around the world for Russia's 2019 initiative to develop a comprehensive international framework to counter the criminal use of information and communication technologies. President Putin has emphasized that cybercrime represents a global challenge, often linked to terrorism, extremist propaganda, and the illegal trade in drugs and weapons, posing a serious threat to citizens and states alike. He has also stressed that Russia is willing to close international cooperation in combating these digital threats. The convention aims to strengthen global efforts against unlawful actions in the digital sphere. Now, for this discussion, we go back to Matti Zweig. He's a geopolitical expert, joins us live from Tel Aviv. Thank you very much, Matti, for staying with us. Now, looking at this, how can UN Cybercrime Treaty balance the need for stronger international cooperation against cybercrime with concerns over potential human rights and privacy violation? How can they balance it?
In the same way that we balance everything, because many countries in the world are having a double standard. For one side, they are combating cybercrime for their own needs. Like in this occasion, Russia is very, happy with what is going on and sent the Prosecutor General Alexander Gutsan to sign in the name of Putin. And from the other side, there are a lot of accusations from Western countries like Europe, like the US and others, that from the same country that now is signing this, a lot of cybercrime is coming. Of course, they deny, they say it's private people. The same with China, the same with North Korea. But of course, things must be signed. A framework of normal work must be normally for everybody in the world. But the question is if every country is fulfilling the agreements and not having double standards about it. And this is the big question that must be answered.
Yes, and also given that cybercrime costs the global economy trillions annually, what role should governments and multinational corporations play in enforcing and implementing this treaty's provisions?
Well, it depends on the themes, because if you have cyber crimes committed by third parts that are having an influence on Russian economy, let's say, or in European economy, or it doesn't matter which, African economy. So they have the potential to cooperate in a local way because they want to discover, drug dealers around the world or pedophiles or whatever. So in a local way, all countries can cooperate. The question is if in the big themes, the big countries are going to cooperate in cybercrime. And today the world is compartmentalized, is very divided. And what is today something in common, tomorrow is something that divides the countries.
And Matti, what challenges could arise in ensuring compliance with the conventions, given differing national interests and cyber capabilities?
Well, I think what is said from the Russians, for instance, is true. I mean, they must agree mutual commitments and enhance the convention's mechanism. It's the same like with Interpol. To fight the international crime and to catch the bad guys. The question is what kind of level of cooperation are going to have the countries that sign this in implementing really everything. I mean, it's good that it's a framework of work, because now you have a basis and a mutual agreements, like I said. The question is if it's going to be the next level that all the countries are going to understand that they must fulfill these agreements in a minimal way. So in order to not go into a slippery road that they can take, for instance, drug dealers destroying all societies. And I think this is a common goal for most of the countries, except for those that they are infringing the same themes that they are committed to, like, I don't know, Venezuela, which became a narco state. How are they going to fulfill the agreement if themselves they are a narco state? You have another examples like this, but as a mutual thing, a basic thing, is of course very positive.
Yes, indeed. Always great hearing from you. Thank you very much, Matty Zweig, for joining us and sharing that insight as a geopolitical expert from Tel Aviv. Now we move on to our next news. Britain's governing Labour Party has elected Lucy Powell as its new deputy leader. Powell has won with a 54-46 margin against Education Minister Bridget Phillipson, with a low 17% turnout and receiving a total of 87,407 votes. The victory comes after Powell was removed from her government position last month during a ministerial reshuffle. Speaking on Powell's win, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has said that Powell has consistently defended Labour values, emphasizing the importance of shared British principles. Let's listen in.
Because Lucy has always been a proud defender of Labour values, and that is exactly what we need at this moment. We need to come together to defend those values, values that are not just Labour values, but also British values: decency, compassion, respect for difference, optimism about the future, and pride in all the people and communities that make this country so great. And all of that is under threat.
Additionally, while addressing her remarks, Powell has warned of rising division and discontent in the country, while also urging the party to step forward and promote progressive policies. Let's listen in.
Division and hate are on the rise, discontent and disillusionment widespread, the desire for change impatient and palpable. People are looking around, looking elsewhere for the answers. And we, as the Labour Party, as the party of government, have to step forward and take this on. We have this one big chance to show that progressive, mainstream politics really can change people's lives for the better.
Moreover, discussing plans for the upcoming elections next May, the newly elected deputy leader has also promised to start working immediately to support candidates and councillors across London, Scotland, Wales, and the rest of England. Now we move on to Asia. China has reported a magnitude 5.5 earthquake in its northeastern province of Jilin, a region that borders North Korea. According to the reports, the earthquake struck the city of Hunchun around 7:45 p.m. local time, with the epicenter recorded at the depth of about 560 kilometers. Jilin, which lies close to the Korean peninsula, occasionally experiences minor seismic activity, though strong earthquakes in the region are relatively rare. However, authorities are continuing to monitor the situation for any aftershocks, and so far no casualties or major destruction has been reported. Now we stay in the region. 3 Chinese citizens have been arrested in Tbilisi, Georgia, for allegedly attempting to purchase uranium illegally. Authorities have said that the suspects sought to buy 2 kilograms of the radioactive material. Authorities have also added that the suspects were prepared to pay $400,000 for the uranium. 1 Chinese citizen already in Georgia is in breach of visa rules and brought experts to search for the material across the country. Other members of the group have coordinated the operation from China. The suspects were detained while negotiating the terms of the illegal transaction. Additionally, the security service has reported that the group planned to transport the uranium to China via Russia. Video footage released by the agency also shows the detention operation. The security service has not yet revealed the identities of these arrested individuals nor the exact time of their detention. Now for this discussion, we welcome Ross Feingold. He's a political analyst, joins us live from Taipei. Thank you very much, Ross, for joining us again. Good to see you. Ross, now what does this arrest of 3 Chinese individuals in Georgia reveal about nuclear smuggling, and how effective are current international safeguards and monitoring systems in preventing such trade?
They're actually very good monitoring systems, and there's generally very good cooperation between states that mine uranium, states that buy uranium. There's always intelligence agencies, especially the United States, but also from Europe, that are monitoring the trade in uranium. But of course, people who are up to no good are always going to be one step ahead. And prosecutors, police, government agencies, intelligence agencies, they're always going to be one step behind. What we don't know at this early stage of this case is who are they planning to sell it to? Now, China has a large number of nuclear energy facilities, but the idea that they would buy uranium on the black market seems very preposterous. The Chinese energy companies purchase their uranium from Namibia and Kazakhstan. They mine some of it domestically as well. So if these individuals really were trying to buy uranium on the black market, then it's safe to assume they were trying to sell it to people who are up to no good, whether that's a state actor or a terrorist organization.
And Ross, building on that, could this incident strain any ties or diplomatic relations between Georgia, China, and even Russia, as this was given the alleged smuggling route? He will come back to him in a minute. While 3 Chinese citizens have been arrested in Tbilisi, Georgia, for allegedly attempting to purchase uranium illegally. Authorities have said that the suspects sought to buy 2 kilograms of the radioactive material. Now, for this discussion, we welcome back Ross Feingold. He's a political analyst, joins us live from Taipei. Thank you, Ross, for joining us again. Now, building on our discussion earlier, could this incident strain diplomatic relations between Georgia, China, and Russia, given the alleged smuggling route?
That's a really interesting question, because generally Georgia has quite good relations with China. It's not considered a country in Eastern Europe or Central Asia that has an antagonistic or skeptical relationship with China. So actually, it's entirely possible that the Chinese authorities might cooperate with the Georgian authorities to some extent in this case, really depending on what the facts are and who these buyers were really working for and who their customer was. Again, that's really unknown. Russia, I'm sure they're going to be monitoring this case, but would it affect Georgia's relations with Russia? Probably not.
And what responsibilities do former Soviet states like Georgia have in securing leftover nuclear materials, or do they have any responsibilities for taking care of such materials?
Certainly they do. Many of them have joined international agreements.
We're having some technical issues with our guest Ross, so we will be moving forward. Thank you very much, Ross Feingold, for joining us again and sharing that insight as a political analyst from Taipei.